All right, Cooter here. There's Cooter's hand. Hello. Growler's going under the knife starting today. Fixing my broken 35 spline chromoly stub shaft. Replacing them with a kit of 40 spline stub shafts. So this is an inner chromoly. I've got to take this stub off. U-joint's not that old, so we're just going to reuse that. Press it into here. This will go back in. 40 spline dry flange kit. You can see that in comparison to the 35 spline that it's replacing. Hopefully this will be the last stub we break. This whole kit came to me, purchased it through East Coast Gear Supply. They hooked me up with a really good deal on it. They're good guys to work with. Highly recommend you give them a call if you need any of this stuff. I've broken 2 of these. I'm hoping not to break any more. The reason they seem to break, the 35 spline ones have this slot in there on 2 sides. And in a stock Ford application, like something like this, where you have vacuum locking hubs in there, right? That groove is cut into here to allow vacuum to pass from the hose at the inside of the knuckle through to the outside where the hub is. I was glad to see when I got these 40 splines, no groove in there, so hopefully no stress riser and no weak spot. The other thing Growler's getting is a set of ball joint deletes. So those will go in. And if you look at the front end here, I've got it's a little dirty. I didn't get the pressure washer out and clean it, but I'll clean all this stuff as I take it apart before I put it back on. So these 35 spline dry flanges are coming out. Won't need them. So I've got to pull the brakes off, rotors, unhook the tie rods, get the unit bearings off, get the axles out, get the knuckles off on both sides. We'll do a lot of cleaning, and between today and tomorrow, hopefully that thing will be back together and ready to rock. All right, more updates as we go. All right, Cooter back here. Growler's up on the lift. We're about an hour in. Front end's all torn down. Knuckles are on the floor. Now, these are F450 and 550 knuckles and inner Cs. Very similar to the 250, 350, except they're taller in through here. These trucks were the original, Ford called them the wide track. Some people call them the fat boy. These were what's truly the Super 60 of the Dana 60 axle series. Way to note these is on these, there was no and there was never any casting on here for the coil spring mount. And I'll show you, maybe I could show you on one of these. This one's upside down. But on here, it's been chopped off. But you can see where this cast pad used to come out like this, and the bolt went in there that held the coil spring seat. This one's upside down. This is a 250, 350 Dana 60. Anyway, Growler driver's back of Growler driver's head right there. Say hi. Hello. We just put his quad back together, so he's going to go out and rip around in the snow. Anyway, I'm going to work on cleaning these up, pressing out the old ball joints, and then I will get them on the table, and I'll show you a close-up of how the ball joint deletes or the uniball cups and everything go in. And yeah, this is coming along pretty good. So it's a little bit of cleaning, not too bad. One thing I do have to do, I failed to order new. I've got a couple loose. These are 3/4 inch rod ends. Summit Machine aluminum links, Howe 10-inch steering ram. The beauty of these knuckles, and actually I was able to do this with the 250 and 350 knuckles also, and what makes it work is the 1550 steering U-joints allow you to turn 45 or so degrees in each direction, and you can see how tight these U-joints steer. Okay, so that was a first feature on a truck with a 10-lug front axle. Okay, so this truck here has a 10-lug front end. This truck, you can see how wide it is. This is a Super 60 front end. It's a 10-lug. I'm going to shine this under here, but you're not going to be able to see much. It's not going to look like anything to you. Anyway, 10-lug front axle, 10-lug unit bearings. That F350, I swapped that front end in there. I swapped that 10-lug front end in. That's these same knuckles right here. So I originally thought of using these because I had them. I wanted to get the maximum tightest turning radius I could. And what I discovered later was I could still get the same turning radius using the 250 or 350 inner and outer C's just by grinding off the steering stops. And the new axles for the 250s and 350s, the replacements from Spicer, also run the 1550 U-joints now. So that was something that came out, and now you can put those in the 250s and 350s and really maximize your turning radius. All right, so we're gonna get some ball joints pressed out, and we'll pick up after that. Growler out. Well, we came into our first problem here. So I got the old ball joints pressed out of the F450/550 knuckles. And I just went to clean everything and test fit the new upper comm bearing adapters, and slides right in. It's supposed to be a press fit. It's got knurling on there. Falls right in. The bottom looks like it'll go in fine. Looks like it'll go into the counter bore. I'll mic it up, I'll measure it and make sure that the depth is correct. The taper fits the bottom of the C just fine. Just below, you can see how the taper is just below there. That'll lock in there just nice. So we're gonna see what that's all about. I'll send this video over to Josh and see what he says about it. I'm hoping they have a different one or the correct one, and he's gonna need to hopefully overnight it to me because I need this done for the weekend. Okay.